Welcome to another episode of St. Vincent Untold Stories.
On this episode, we are going to look at Julian Francis, the commander-in-chief of our former Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph E. Gonzalez. It is alleged that Sir Julian had a stroke, but the man that passed away, that was in prisons at the time, with some men from the Cyan Hill area, said that some of the guys said that something was thrown in Sir Julian's drink to pull his muscles together. But you see, because we do not have the proper tools at the hospital, the proper test wasn't done. So everyone ran with the information that it was a stroke. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell icon if you wish to see more videos like these. You see, when Dr. Ralph Gonzalez came into office, the self-proclaimed war boss, he had a right-hand general with him, and that was none other than Julian Francis. Julian was loved by many, and he was hated by many. He was running in the constituency of a former prime minister. So every time he went up against the ministers, he would lose his seat. He did not lose because he wasn't doing the right thing. The fact remained that the people were stubborn. They believed that the prime minister that was in their constituency from before had helped them so much that they did not want to switch. Julian had told a lie that he had smelled a victory. He went in the communities and he started to distribute things. Allegations are that stove, a fridge, matches, shoes, clothes. He went from doorstep to doorstep, asking the people to vote for him. Boy, it is alleged that the man thought that he had won. He was going to have a big celebration the night of the elections. He brought a truck full of drinks and another truck with some big speakers on top. You see, Julian was not trying to bribe them from their vote. He went doorstep to doorstep, so he saw their struggles. He saw who needed a fridge, who needed a stove. In the party, there was a spokesman by the name of Glenn Jackson. Glenn Jackson was so outspoken that even members of the Unity Labour Party was afraid of his mouth. Allegations are that Glenn Jackson was planning to release some information. You saw during these elections when a former minister by the name of Mike Brown said that the policies that the world boss had now did not align with the policies from before. So he could not support the world boss. So Glenn Jackson had the same idea. He saw that the policies were not aligned. Allegations are that he was taken out by a bad man around town. The job was so clean that not even the Scotland Yard could find any evidence. They washed up the body. It is alleged that several persons were picked up, and while in jail again, one of the bad men said that he knew who did it. You see, Julian went up on the stage during a funeral procession and did a song called I Did It My Way. So persons started to make speculations. You see, information had reached the public that a known Don had given over $100,000 to a minister, and they said that the minister requested more because it was during the campaign time and the demand was high. But the Don said, no, I can't do that no more because it's carrying down my funds. Boy, they decided to set up the Don. When the yacht came in on the beach, they called the police and they arrested the Don. The matter came up and he was sentenced for about 10 years in prison. He already went in and came out back and did his time. But you see, they tried to take everything from him financially. They seized assets, buildings, cars, and some of those assets were in relatives' name. They went for them as well. Do you remember when one Biggs in a Top Shot has said, you see, police and politicians, me not trust none of them boy, the rude boy. Allegations are that the city of Kingston was getting so hot, especially in the Paul's Avenue area. Men were dropping like flies. So Warner Sanga and Dutchy reached out to their cousin, a known politician, and asked for protection. And protection was given. These men used the protection to their advantage. While the police barricaded the gates, substance was being moved within their camp. There was some kiba fish, some mullet. You think of them will catch a river, we eat anything. So if you put on bread pan a nylon, the mouth so big, them a go grab it one time. You know the big sea bass them at the sea? Once you throw out a piece of bait, their mouth is so wide that they swallow the hook and everything together, not knowing that they swallowed the hook. So there were some mullets in the Avenue area, carrying back information to the men in Rose Place and the men in Atley Hall. They were jealous of the lifestyle that Sanga and Dutchy lived. They were getting a lot of girls, and they had picked up a lot of enemies along the way. Remember I told you on several occasions they were incarcerated for allegedly sending men to the graveyard, but were freed. There is a saying that says, do not trouble who doesn't trouble you. These men were like the men in Wrong Turn. If you did not trouble them or go into their territory with any badness, they would not try to get at you. You had to trouble them first. Or you had to try and sell a substance on one of their territories. But they would warn you, and if you push any type of badness, you would be dealt with. Remember I told you Diaz had an itchy finger? There's a lot of people from the Pals Avenue area locked on to this channel. Tell me if I'm lying. Whenever Diaz's friends had a problem, he'd come with his Yankee talk and would say, Untold, you have any problem? I'll help you solve them. Don't worry. You see, things were getting heated, and the force to go was one Spanny. Remember I did that episode with Spanny, so you can check back the channel and see, right? So they said that Spanny was too outspoken, so he had to be taken out. You know, sometime a man consume a little alcohol, and him push and works, and him say, yo, and me do that, you know, and him start to puff him chest. So other man who sent him pan the works now started to get nervous. So they said that he had to be taken out. And you see, Spanny's badness was too wild. One time a man gave him an outer place attack. It was blows from morning until night. Doop! Doop! Plenty of pack that, you know. The man bawl like a pig. Says Spanny, please. Please. Forgive me. Doop! 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 Messing with bad boy Spanny. You see, the men from Atley Hall and Rose Place was not easing up at all. So Sanga and Dutchy did not know where all these enemies were coming from. Because throughout the years they had picked up so much enemies that they did not know who was who. Allegations are that Dutchy was a setup. Just imagine a getaway jeep disappeared like a candle in the wind in an era where so many cameras are located. It is alleged that the police knew who it was, but the person is untouchable. So just like many others in the Pals Avenue area, Sanga and Dutchy's life was cut short. After Julian saw that he could not win, he backed out and he passed it on to Sir Luke Brown. He warned Luke Brown about other people from Cyan. He said that they would eat you out, drink you out, and still vote you out. But Luke did not listen. You see, Luke was a bright lad, and he thought that he was bringing something good to the table. So he went in and tried to do the same thing that Julian did. Back some money. The man them save us same money. Every youth happy. You see, like when Bunny Rabbit jump from a Christmas time, when they eat a nice piece of cake. That's how the man them feel. As I said before, it was not a bribe. He saw the struggles of the people and he decided to make them happy. But you see, Julian had warned him and he had lined out a map and show him what house not to go to. But the boy insisted that he was going there still to try and win them over. Boy, when he brought the stuff, the people ate, they belch, they poop. Imagine you eat something and you belch and you bust off and fart. You know, you feel good. So the people felt good. But when it was election time, they voted against Luke. But you see, at the time, it was very difficult for the opposition to get help, because they were put under pressure. So some of these same people had to go back to Luke to ask for help. So Luke felt confident, and he decided to try again. He went in and he tried to help them. But over and over, years after years, it was the same outcome. So a little tension started because Julian had warned him and he had not listened. So the men were not seeing eye to eye anymore. It is alleged that the tensions was so high that one wall boss had to call a peace treaty. You see, a lot of people have it to say that the wall boss was the general. He was not any general. Julian was the man giving the orders. So Julian has now decided to take a different route. He's more seen in the back of things. He's more humble now. And the Waller boss has now returned back home to his village of Goss.